We're back. Norman Woodstock, Bare Bones Radio Broadcasting. Skeleton Nation. Proverbs, the 15th chapter, the first verse. A soft answer turns away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. In the previous broadcast, I spoke about description. The earth is suffering a great description problem. That remark reminds me that that's not accurately said. Let's say the author is saying something there, and I do believe a soft answer turneth away wrath. It does. Only the word grief or grievous words stir up trouble and anger is kind of like an indictment comparing soft to grief. First of all, I don't think you can compare the two. One isn't, those two remarks do not belong in the same sentence. I don't know if Solomon said that. The whole point is I think Solomon's name is stuck to things that he no more said than fly the moon. And I could be, well, we have it verbatimly, baloney. Even if he did, that sentence stands up and is in need of correction. Did Solomon say his wisdom isn't correctable? No, he didn't. Does that mean you're smarter than Solomon? No, it doesn't mean you're smarter than Solomon at all. Under heavy pressure, God knows what you'd say and do. Solomon knew how to behave wise under pressure. A lot of people are wise and they don't behave wise under pressure. So they would make a pimple on Solomon's rear end. Some people can quote wisdom all over the place, put them in a pressure situation, that wisdom breaks up like a vase. Now what? Are you as wise as Solomon? Solomon knew how to engage wisdom in living. That's another wisdom, isn't it? That wisdom seldom quotes. Right? That literature, does it know anything about it? Does literature ever quote that wisdom? Ever? And did it ever and could it? Can the mind overhear it and come and share it with you? Can it? Those are questions for you to ponder. And maybe you'll get to hear that wisdom that Solomon used to engage his wisdom under pressure. Now then, grief is demanded. And the anger it provokes is soft. And it does turn away the wrath that caused the grief to start with. So grief has nothing to do with being something you negate or that you compare to a but situation to soft, or that it provokes wrath. Grief does not provoke wrath. No, it does not. It does not provoke trouble. What is the word here? I don't know if I can find that again. Just a minute. Let's see. There we go. There it is, by golly. But grievous words stir up anger. Not so. Grudgeful words, incorrect description words, misusing terms to frame people and jade their image does stir up anger. That's got nothing to do with grief. Court action is not for personal grudge. When you say, well, justice was done, now I realize that the justice took a grudge on this person and I feel better. Well, then you're an idiot. And that is not the reason for court. And this planet is very much misusing court right now. And by God, if the Almighty ever showed up, you are in all big trouble. Mainly you didn't have a yell about it. I don't hear anybody disclaiming the way court's getting used right now. And especially those making a living in it. Only the others did not say something as, my God, you don't understand court at all. Court is there for the welfare of everyone. And everyone loves court. Well, let me tell you, the way court's being used, I'll darn tell you, no wonder no one likes court. The whole planet's misusing court right now. Mock you. Shame on you. All of you. You better beg God Almighty don't show up. You ain't gonna like it. You know what God Almighty is? A state of aware that you have and won't use. Want to bet? That God Almighty awareness lives with all of you. Want to bet? It's when you match wits honestly with yourself, the light bulbs come on in there. Well, let me tell you, you're all playing dumb to it right now. One human being, speaking for God Almighty, you are vulnerable. Want to bet? Because that human will have passion and love for each one of you. All simultaneous, across the globe at the same time. I would make a pimple on that guy's butt. Well, I tell you what, you're breeding him. Want to bet? Just like taking a rubber hammer and whacking an old knee. Wow! That's genetics, laddie. You keep her up. Because one day one voice will stop this whole planet simultaneously and embarrass all of you at the same time. Want to bet? Keep her going. I'm Gabriel, just reminding you. Dumbass. Then let's see if you can use corruption to live with anymore. I don't know what you're going to do. I won't be around to see it, will I? Only I'll tell you, it's coming! Like the shrimp boats.